Hey guys, so today we're going to talk a little bit about texture. And here to help us demonstrate some texture is my puppy Choji. So he is very furry and fluffy. He's got all this hair on him, right? And if we wanted to draw something that had fur like a dog or a cat, we would have to draw in some of those detail lines to make them look like they have fur. So let's try to do that in some artwork. Okay, guys, let's try it. Okay, so if we want to draw something like Choji or something like a cat on your page, we need to add some lines to really give it that fur. So what I have with me is I have some colored pencils, and I also have some markers over here. I have some yellow, some orange, and some brown markers that I'm just going to take out now. And also, you know what? I'm going to take out some pink for the ear. So, first what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a brown and I'm going to draw some lines that basically go from his little nose outward. So I'm going to draw these lines that kind of go like this way. And they kind of go around. And then I'm going to draw some on his body over here. I'm going to put some lines that kind of go from the middle and they kind of go down and outward. So I'm going to put some lines like that. Just like so. I'm also going to put some on his tail. So going from his butt and going up, I'm going to put some lines this way to do his tail. And let's put some down his feet like so. And then on the top of his head, I want to do from his eyes up. So I'm just going to put some lines up here. Put some lines up there and all the way around his eyes. Then on his ears, right, we want to put some hair, just kind of goes up. So there we got it. Some nice fur that kind of goes up like so. Now, after I have those directional lines, I'm going to add in both my yellow and my orange. And I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to follow all those brown lines and just keep going with it. And keep going up, up, up. So wherever those brown lines are, you're just kind of putting in your orange now too. There you go. All right. Oh, missed the foot. There we go. So now that I have my orange and my brown in, I'm going to take my yellow and be able to color this whole piece. You can also color in the little ears with some pink inside, his eyes, whatever color you want to make them, and then of course his little nose. And there you have a cat with some furry texture, just like Choji. Okay, so next we have a fish. So fish have scales. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a marker and I'm going to start with a rounded line right in the center and then make some rounded lines outward like so. And that's my first layer of fish scales. Now after that, I'm going to put a rounded line right in the center of each of those fish scales and then keep going around and around and around. Just like so. So now I have some fish scales. Now I'm going to take some of my pretty colors and I'm going to do a second layer to sort of give it that like fishy scale feeling to it. Just like so. So I want you at home to keep going with those colors of scales. Now, for its little fins, I'm going to do some lines instead. So I'm going to take some lines, and I'm going to put some lines going down from his body towards the end of the tail or the fin, like so. And now I have some nice tail lines, and it gives the texture of those fins. So at home, I would like you to color this all in, okay, guys? So here we have a lamb, and for our lamb, we need to make that wool that it has. The way that we do that is by taking some rounded lines, some curved lines, and giving it a little texture of fluff. So if you just put some rounded lines, sort of two C's next to each other, it makes it sort of look like it's a little bit woolly, has a little bit of fluff to it. This is probably one of the easiest to do, just like that. And then you can just draw in the face and the two little feet in some brown. Now, if we look at a tree is very similar to a sheep. But we're doing the same sort of a thing, but we're using green instead. So with our green, we're going to take some curved lines and just putting them together like so. And you can even put like a double curved line like that, or some curved lines that intertwine. But doing these curved lines makes it look like there's more than just this bulky tree. There's all these leaves attached to your tree. So you can put as many of these curved lines as you want. The more the merrier, and the more makes it look like there's more leaves in your tree. Now, down here at the bottom, we can also do some wood. We can put some straight lines and then add some like curly cues, and that makes it look like we have some wood. Do you see those curly cues that I'm putting in there? Just like so. So some straight lines and some curly cues make the texture of wood. There you go. Now my last animal that we're going to do texture for is this giraffe. Now giraffes have these cool spot patterns. So we're going to put on those patterns so that it gives the texture of the giraffe's coat. So here we're going to put in, they're sort of like rounded squares. And they kind of go like this, all the way down the page. And you want to do one on each side of his neck, like so. Now, you can also color in this with a little bit of some lines to make it look like it has some hair up here. And then you can also do some, on his mane, we can do some lines going from his neck outward to do the mane, like so. See? And we can also do that in various colors. So we can use orange and yellow and all these colors. And then do you see how the mane sort of pops out on the giraffe now? Alright guys, so there you have it for texture. So I would like you to do your cat, your fish, your sheep, your tree, and your giraffe at home, and let me see your amazing artwork.